What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another quick little rebuild on this BMW 340. I know there's been a lot of questions about my McLaren, and right now it's just sitting under a cover. We actually are prepping it to get painted probably next week. We did have to get new filters for the paint booth because, as you guys know, that's an expensive car and we want to get the best paint job possible on that thing. And we did decide I'm gonna actually paint it white. I was thinking about painting it gold, but I seen this one sick car on Instagram and it was white, and it just made up my mind right there. So stay tuned for the video. Previously on this BMW 340, we went ahead and fixed all the frame damage, painted this in. We also installed this pretty sick M4 GTS style hood on here. Now we need to do a little bit more work on this engine. As you guys seen, the water pump right here, the pulley was just simply busted off, and we do have another one of those. We did also order a radiator, but it turns out they sent me the wrong radiator because there's two radiators here. There's one for the actual intercooler or for the turbos, and there's one for the actual car. We do have the other one for the intercoolers, but we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow for that. So let's go ahead and crack open our water pump and replace this one with this old one. So here we have our original water pump, and let's go ahead and check it out. There it is. Check that out. Nice OEM. We were trying to find an aftermarket one, but this thing was pretty cheap from the dealer. I think it's like $120. So we just went ahead and went with that. Check that out. Bam. Looks good to me. That's crazy how this one just popped right off. Just kind of sucks, but should be a pretty easy fix. It's like 4-5 bolts. So let's go ahead and grab the tools and get this old one off and put the new one on. What's that coming out of it? Guys, I think there's a little bit of Powerade in there. See, that right there is what they make blenders out of right there.
That's a Ninja right there.
It's a little Ninja spinner. All right, let's get this new one on. What is that? It's dirty. Nice and tight, guys. That ain't going nowhere. Now what we need to do is actually start removing these frame rail ends right here. As you can see, this little rib nut came out of here and it kind of stretched the entire aluminum. So we're actually gonna go ahead and replace these because they are really cheap. I think I paid like 25 bucks a piece for them. So let's go ahead. We need to replace or remove this headlight right here, remove this, and remove the whole rebar. So we got both brackets back on the car. We also went ahead and reinstalled the rebar. Now it's time to go ahead and install the original headlight bracket right here, and then we have a new one from BMW. So let's go ahead and install everything. So we pretty much have everything buttoned up on the sides. Now what we're gonna do is actually install our new charge pipe right here. As you guys remember, we did have a crack in our old one. We did decide to go ahead and use an aftermarket one. Check this out. This is by, I think it's VRSF. It's a really good downpipe. It can hold a lot of boost. And I know those other ones, they actually crack if you tune the car, which we'll probably be doing in the future. So let's go ahead and put this thing on. So I got the charge pipe installed and everything lined up perfectly. There was no issues at all. Really high quality charge pipe. Now what we need to do is go ahead and install our new Serpentine Belt that we got from O'Reilly's. I did actually order one from the dealer, but it turns out it was on back order or something. And it's actually the same price at O'Reilly's as it is at the dealer. So I went ahead and picked it up. Let's go ahead and install it. And the crazy thing is I can't find any diagrams anywhere. So all I did was just look up a B58 used engine and I just found a diagram. So let's go ahead and install it. See, because like sometimes you can't find diagrams or anything, but you just find a picture of an engine.
Oh, that's smart.
Huh? I need to put it. Easy. All right. So just like that, we got the Serpentine Belt on, and I don't care what anybody says, these BMWs are pretty easy to work on. Now what we're gonna do is actually start assembling our radiator. We have the radiator, the intercooler, and the cooling fan. So let's go ahead and get all that stuff and assemble it. Why is it so big? Here's the aftermarket heat exchanger right here. It is a lot thicker than our original one that's over there. And then we have our radiator from the dealer. We actually had to order it because we could not find a used one anywhere. So here's the radiator from the dealer. So let's go ahead and assemble the whole package. So we got the entire radiator set up all complete, and check out how much this intercooler sticks out. It's supposed to be inside there, but it's a lot bigger. So it's gonna help with the heat dissipation so these turbos don't get heat soaked. Now let's go ahead and install this setup. So we got the radiator all installed. Everything is nice and plugged up. This cooler fit up perfectly. All the lines hooked up easy. Now what we need to do is go ahead and put this top cover on and go ahead and put the vents on also. So we pretty much have the entire front end of this BMW back together, and we were actually waiting on this intake tube right here, and we went ahead and slapped it in. And we do also have a cold air for this car right here, because as you guys know, we did install the charge pipe. Now we have a cold air, and we also have a down pipe in here. So we have our entire cold air system right here. Here I think is the filter and then the elbow. So let's go ahead and install this little cold air intake, and then we'll probably go ahead and start working on the bodywork on this car so we can get all the dents fixed on the fender, get all the dents fixed on the hood, and this thing will be ready for paint. Honestly guys, I have no idea how to install this intake, but I'm guessing this tube goes in there and that tube goes over there. Look at that, guys. Get like a cinematic of that.
Very nice.
We pretty much have everything now buttoned up on this car, and I think this intake is going to add a little bit of horsepower, and we are planning on tuning this car now that we have the intake, the charge pipe, and we also do have a down pipe that we will be installing later. Check this massive thing out. This is also going to give us some horsepower, and I'm thinking we're going to probably go with the JB4 tune. I'm not sure yet. We reached out to a couple of companies and see what they say, but pretty much everything up in the front is done on this car. Check it out. Everything basically looks OEM. Nothing's out of place. We got all the plastics on, pretty much everything there. Now what we need to do is actually head to the dealership because we didn't add antifreeze into this car yet, and then after we add some antifreeze, you can probably get this thing started and maybe take it for a little test drive. It is raining a little bit right now, but hopefully it calms down later. So let's head to the dealership and get that antifreeze. It looks like it's about to
be
rain.
a tornado out here.
There might honestly be. There was one like last year the same time.
Look at that. Look over there. Those clowns.
But guys, check this out. We're about to be driving my brother's S2000 CR. You guys can see more content on this car on Motorhead Co. It's my brother's channel, but man, this is an S2000 CR. They only made 600 of these cars, and let me tell you guys, that's one of the funnest cars I've ever drove. It does have a hard top and it does have a 6 spoiler. So let's head to the dealership right now. Guys, this is the funnest car I've ever driven. I honestly might have to get me one. And the coolest thing about this one is it is the hardtop, and it's a factory hardtop, so it's not an aftermarket one. And man, these cars are just so fun. So if you're ever thinking about buying an S2000, just buy it.
Windshield wipers are horrible.
Might have to just stop in and change them for the bro. Let's do it.
Change it for Vladsky. Yeah, he'll love it.
You know, you gotta hook the bro up whenever you're driving his car.
Sing the song.
Oh, Riley.
I don't think that's how that goes.
That guy needs to be towed right now. 1950
Come on.
Honda. It's 2000. Oh, right here, Bosch FS16. Where's that FS16? So these are gonna last them for 46 years. True. I just love how we're changing wipers while it's raining. Like the last time you should be changing wipers. All right, so what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna change them on one side because you don't need them.
Boom. Just like that. Let her rip.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah. There you go. Beautiful.
I guess we'll just replace that one a bit later because we just need this one.
Yeah. All right. So get to the BMW dealership.
we finally made it to BMW Chattanooga, man. Let me tell you guys, that was the scariest thing because all the waves are just hit, all the water just flying up every time somebody drove past us because I guess this car is super small. But let's go inside and get this antifreeze and head back to the shop.
The 530i's? They're pretty nasty.
Wheels, bro. The interior looks sick too. It's basically just like the M5. Same thing. Why are these grills getting so much bigger? Like, why?
There's more airflow going through here now.
No, but look how cool this is.
Horsepower, more
these right here open up and it's airflow. That's pretty sick. So like when you put it in sport mode.
Right, 2 antifreeze and your existing ticket.
So we just got our antifreeze. We actually went ahead and got 2 gallons because I think it takes 1 and then you reduce it with some water. But just to be safe, we got 2 of them. We'll go ahead and put these in the trunk and let's head back to the shop. We finally made it back to the shop. That rain really slowed us down, but we do have our antifreeze right here, and I always like using the OEM antifreeze. It's really not that expensive. It's like 20 bucks a gallon, same exact price as it is at O'Reilly's. So let's go ahead and fill it up, and then we need to grab another gallon of distilled water. We have some of that, so let's fill this bad boy up. So we got the antifreeze pretty much all poured in there and the distilled water. Now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and try starting this thing up and see maybe if we need to burp it a little bit and add some more. Let's give it a test start. There it goes, guys. The car's running. We're gonna go ahead and let it warm up and just see if any of that antifreeze goes down. So now that we have all the antifreeze and everything is good up front, I want to go ahead and take this thing for a test drive. We also did have to replace the battery because it was dead. And on BMWs, the battery will actually cause a lot of issues, especially if it's dead, even if there's a little bit of charge. So if you ever are experiencing a lot of issues with a BMW, make sure you check the battery first. Let's go hop in this thing and give it a little test run. That's pretty good. Neutral. Really good.
What'd you say?
It drives really good.
Driving good?
Yeah.
Just take out the road?
Yeah, hop in.
Oh!
That sounds
Wait,
really
that sound
good.
pretty. Do that again? Dang, I like this brown interior in this car too. It looks super nice.
Is sick. It kind of looks like the BMW M5 interior, but a little bit different.
A little bit different. The M5 is kind of more orange than this one.
I was thinking maybe we can even do a as an auto wheel. It'd be pretty sick in here.
Ooh,
Flat bottom, maybe add some carbon fiber. Not too sure about the shift lights. I like them, but they're kind of useless sometimes unless you're actually doing a lot of racing and you do it at night.
They just look cool though. Honestly.
Yeah, and it shows a bunch of other cool stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this thing back to the shop. So guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We pretty much got this car all completely done. All we need to do is basically just spray it in. We're gonna paint the hood, paint both fenders. We'll basically just do a blend on the fenders. Probably put paint a little bit on top right here. This is a solid white, and honestly guys, I'm probably gonna paint my McLaren the same color white because I just love the simplicity and it just goes good with everything. And we are gonna be painting that car here soon. We're just getting the last finishing touches done to our paint booth and all the stuff like that. But if you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, follow me on Instagram at VTune. And if you want to cop some cool merch, head over to vtune.com, use promo code for VTune and get you a sweet deal. So guys, stay tuned for the next episode. We're gonna get this car painted, modded up, and probably tune it as well. Thanks for watching, guys.